You hear that? The sound of bold ideas.
Hello, I'm Alvin Chan. I'm the creative director of Superlarge. And formerly I was the global creative director of Nike, G-Star, as well as Samsung. And I'm very excited about branding. And today I'm here to talk to you about the success of creating brands in a very high pressure environment. It was actually purely coincidental, but I started out as a graphic designer, and through graphic design I followed my heart and I actually came to the Netherlands to work at some of the, let's say, renowned Dutch design studios, which was fantastic. And one day I got contacted by a headhunter for a role for Nike, which was out of the blue, but I was having many interviews, and eventually I got the role, which completely changed my career. I worked on very high profile work. I worked in a very multidisciplinary type of way. And I learned so much from that, which propelled me to working for larger brands, which I start to realize I really enjoy working in the branding field. No, for sure. I think in my job at Nike, I had the privilege to work with a lot of high-profile athletes. I would say older high-profile athletes, especially in football. And it's always sounds like a joy to do that, but it's actually a lot of hard work and a lot of pressure. The reason why it's a lot of pressure is because these players earn multi-million-dollar contracts, and most of them don't want to be in the photo shoot because they want to play football. So when we actually get commissioned to do a campaign, like let's say material featuring Ronaldo, and as I mentioned to you before, intel is very important. So then we have to study them 100%. What they eat, how they play, when they train, what are the current events that happen to them? Are they playing Champions League this season? Tomorrow is the photo shoot. What happens the week before? Because what you get, which is also most people don't understand, is that you only get 10 minutes. You come up with a fantastic idea to shoot him flying through the sky, kicking the ball, etc., but you only can squeeze it into 10 minutes because the athlete has a time slot that is agreed by the sponsors. It could be 10 minutes, it could be half an hour. So your preparation is super important. And also, I think as an art director at that time and creative director, you need to be very clear what you want to shoot in a very specific moment. So we prep the storyboard. We also prep what we expect from the athletes. We make sure the environment is very calm for him or for her. And then we rehearse the whole thing before this person arrives. And sometimes we even have a body double, which is someone that looks like this person, so that we can do some testing of the camera, that the lighting goes good and the camera goes good. And then we rehearse it many times, hours beforehand, and this person will arrive just for 10 minutes. And what is very important is almost like a Formula One pit stop, is that you have to get in and out in the very shortest amount of time, but it needs to feel very playful and relaxed. So you need to be very calm in high pressure and make sure the athletes that come in feel there is no stress, right? But it's very stressful, of course, because you have 50 people on set with lightings, etc. What is also very stressful is the athletes come with their agents. And the agents are constantly looking at the time. Is it finished? Is it finished? So we have to manage that. I have to manage that. So the minute the athlete comes, the stopwatch begins. And normally it's my job to explain, Cristiano, good to see you. Congratulations on the Ballon d'Or you've just won. Are you feeling okay? Can I get you a coffee? Then I will actually explain what needs to be done. Detailed enough, but not long enough to lose their attention. And then quite quickly they will get changed to the outfit. And then we put them on the field, on the, let's say, a pitch on the field with lighting, etc. And you also have to remember we have to take care of health and safety. This person cannot slip when you kick the ball because there's insurance involved. And then we need to make sure there's nets in the side if he's kicking a ball that it doesn't damage any equipment. So there's a lot of things to think about. But at that point, I have to be really focused to be with Cristiano in that moment, or Neymar, or Iniesta, to bring the best out of them. So which means I need to channel all the knowledge I have from them to bring some emotion for the photo for 10 minutes. So I need to also know the sequence I need to shoot, because there's a high possibility this person gets bored and leaves. For example, we had a shoot with Neymar. He left after 1 minute. So in the back of your mind, you got to be calm, you got to be relaxed, you got to be funny, but you know this person might leave very quickly, so you need to make sure you capture all the shots that you need, and then have time over within 10 minutes to put this film together and look fantastic. So I think the lesson I've learned there is intel is very important. You need to know your subject, but you need to be playful, you need to be calm, and you need to think of all the scenarios before the stopwatch happens. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. When AI came out, there was a lot of uncertainties for the creative industry in terms of whether people are going to lose their jobs or whether they're going to lose opportunities. And maybe that is partly true. I think there are two camps. One is about envisioning concepts, and the other one is actually indeed skill sets for craftsmanship. And I think starting with the negative point, when you are only a craftsperson, then maybe there is some danger there, because traditional work streams might be taken away. Preparing a photo shoot, or actually production, or actually visualizing typography. In the normal days, we are crafting with the hands, draw everything together. With production, we are going to scout a location in the Himalayas. We have to do location shoots. We have to prep for multiple day helicopter views, etc. But now with AI, a lot of things can be visualized quite easily. So for the people that are focusing on craft, maybe that there is a shift in the industry. But for people that are focusing on conceptual work like myself, it is quite liberating, and it's actually quite good to visualize our ideas into something tangible. And I find that especially from what we do, which is a lot of conceptual work for our clients, it is a very useful tool to make tangible what we think the concept is. So which means we can actually visualize a photo shoot before it's actually photographed. We can actually create a space before it's actually designed. And I see a lot of potential of helping bridge the gap between concept and realization. And I think especially when clients are not very visually savvy, this is a fantastic tool to show the possibilities. I think it's already happened, and I think the question is the speed of reality, let's say, reality filter, if you may. And we've been testing ourselves with these things, and it gets more and more convincing every day. I think there's no doubt that it will become a norm to integrate AI into commercials, but I think there's going to be a thirst for people that want to see the real thing. It might reverse back, or it might be a combination of both, but I think people might be a bit sick of perfection, and they're looking for imperfection again. And imperfection is definitely a human quality. So there could be a role reversal shift where people are looking for analog qualities of commercial and campaigns. So I think that makes it interesting, where you actually shift the trends a bit. I think I'm very honored to be invited to UX Rotterdam, but looking at the lineup, there's a lot of expertise and talents that talking about the craft of things. I think I'm hoping to bring my personal story that is slightly different from the creation of the work, but maybe how to perform in very high pressure environments to still be creative. My personal journey has brought me from Nike to G-Star to Samsung, and these environments are highly complex and they're very big brands, and I've learned a lot from them. So I'm hoping to share those personal tips and tricks and maybe how to be successful in these brands, and I'm hoping that this will actually be beneficial to the people that come to UX Rotterdam, because in combination with the craft and the production and actually the learning of the digital craft. One thing is probably in addition to that is the human skills, right? To understand how to cope within pressure, how to actually influence, and how to do storytelling to elevate the work to a higher level.